Hello, everyone. Welcome to Deep Purple Podcast, November 17th, 2019. Although I think that's the wrong date. What's today's date? Today's date is...
It's the 15th.
The 15th. Okay, we'll change that. The 17th is when we play the Broncos, and I have a special guest from the Broncos fan... world, if you will. His regular name is Dan, but he goes by the name of, give it to me one more time.
Yeah, my screen name is Denver Super Bowl 50 champs.
Okay. Because they have a Super Bowl win, and we don't yet, but it could change this year. But he's only against us this Sunday. The rest of the year, he would like for us to win one, so that he's a cool guy. So let's just take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. Welcome to Prairie Machining, #1 machine shop in Minnesota, located in Chaska, Minnesota. Located just 25 miles southwest of Minneapolis. If you're looking for quality machine parts, you need to call 952-448-4005. And we're back. And Dan, I got to tell you have a great name. I don't know if you know that. Before we get started, can you promise me that you're not gonna take my helmet off and hit me over the head with it?
I promise you that.
Thank you. So give me a little history as to when you became a Broncos fan and some of your great moments and some of your down moments with the team.
Okay, it goes back to I was born in the state of Colorado. I was born in Durango, Colorado, 1975. That kind of dates me, I know. Right. Growing up, I've always been a Denver Bronco fan. I've been a Denver Bronco fan, like I say, from the day I was born. That's how it is in the state of Colorado, and I'm sure it's kind of like that in the state of Minnesota. I was around, of course, during the 80s when all of them terrible Super Bowl losses were happening. Could John Elway ever win the big one? With losses to like the 49ers with 55-10 when they had Joe Montana. And seeing John Elway win it in 1997 and then winning it again back in 1998. I'd say them are definitely some of my higher moments with, of course, going to Super Bowl and losing being some of the lower moments.
Okay. How many times have you guys actually been in the Super Bowl? Is it 6 times or?
That's a very. Let's see. We were 0-4.
Oh, you were? Oh, okay.
Before the 97 and 98 season, so that's
6 times.
I think it's definitely more than 6 times.
Oh, is it more?
I think we were definitely more. Let's see. I think we were there. I think we've been there 8 times.
That many? Wow, I didn't realize that.
But we do have 5 Super Bowl losses.
Oh, you have 5 of them. Wow, that's a lot. Because we're 0-4. So, right. 4 is a lot, but not as many as 8. Or 8 times that you've been in there, 7 or 8 times, and you've lost 5 times. So that's quite a bit. But at least you know what it's like to hoist the trophy, have your parade, get that monkey off your back, have a smile on your face for like a year. We haven't experienced that part yet, so we're hoping that this year will be the year. Give me a sense of what should we expect on Sunday from your team, because I don't know too much about the Broncos, to be totally honest.
Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, we do have the number 4 ranked defense in the NFL.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe we also have the number 1 red zone defense in the NFL. Which the hiring of Coach Vic Fangio was probably one of the greatest moves that I thought that the organization could have made after the 2 horrible seasons with VJ as the head coach. Coach Fangio, as you know, he has a pedigree on defenses. He built that Chicago defense where they were phenomenal last year. He's also been a defensive coordinator for the 49ers when they went to the Super Bowl. Remember when they had the linebacker, I think it was Bowman?
Yeah, I remember that.
Patrick Willis.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that.
Coach Fangio has been around defenses for over 30 years in the NFL. So for us to have another great defense, I, as a fan, I'm thoroughly impressed with that. Where, of course, our issues lie in is on the offensive side.
Okay. Who's your starting quarterback?
Well, so we had the Joe Flacco experiment that went horribly wrong, kind of identical to what we had last year when we signed Case Keenum.
Oh, that's right.
So, to me, it was Case Keenum 2.0 all over again. I'm just, I couldn't believe how the season started out, and then I don't know if you saw the Denver Kansas City Thursday night game, but that was probably one of the lowlights of the season. I mean, to see Troy Aikman laughing at your quarterback for over 5 minutes.
Oh.
It's pretty bad. But I tell you what, Flacco has since moved to IR, which was the right move, honestly. If I wish we could have cut him right then and there. And then so we have a 4-year player. He's been in the NFL for 4 years. And he got his first chance to start at quarterback last week in Brandon Allen. And I tell you what, he's definitely not Joe Flacco. I think what he brought to us was a lot more energy and mobility. He can move outside of the pocket, and he can pick up 15, 16, 17 yards on you.
Okay. All right. Well, we had to let you take our Keenum because we got Kirk Cousins. He made us an offer we couldn't refuse. He said, if you give me $84 million guarantee, I'll come and join your team. So we couldn't pass that up for some reason, and we gave up Keenum to you. But I guess he didn't work out in Denver, so maybe that was the right move. I don't know. You just never know these days. I think quarterbacking is because they have to be so perfect. You know what I mean? That they can't. You can't miss on those, and if you do, you gotta start all over again. And you're hoping for like this Allen guy to be maybe the next Brady. Who knows?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Now, our dilemma is this, and I feel like it actually be able to be a welcome dilemma. Okay, Brandon Allen, he has been in the NFL for 4 years, but this is his first chance to actually show the world. Does he belong? But the dilemma is that in the second round of this year, we drafted a quarterback named Drew Lock out of the University of Missouri.
Oh yeah. What happened to him?
Well, so what happened to him was I was watching his progression through preseason. First game, he looked just like a rookie. Second game, just like a rookie quarterback. But the third game, I could see progression week to week. And wow, on the third game of the preseason versus the 49ers this year, to me, he had bona fide established himself as definitely the backup to Joe Flacco, with possibly of him going in. Unfortunately, what happened to us was he got injured in that third preseason game, and the management and I'm sure the doctors and everybody decided to place him on IR.
No way.
I did hear that he has came back off of IR as of now, and he is practicing, but he's missed so much time. I got half the fan base that wants to put him in right now, and there's another half of the fan base that just says, "Well, let's see how Brandon Allen does," and then maybe you insert Drew Lock.
What did he hurt? What was the injury?
The injury was his right throwing hand.
Oh.
He injured his thumb.
Oh, okay. Okay, well
he says he just jammed it, and it was just a sprain, but they were not taking any. They weren't taking any. What's the word I'm looking for?
Precaution or something.
Precaution.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do remember him in a draft. Now that you mention it, but maybe Allen can at least finish out this year respectively. You guys are 3-6, correct? Am I right about that? Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Does the record reflect the team in terms of who you are, or are you better than 3-6?
We're better than 3-6.
Okay.
Two of them losses came at the very end of the game. One of them, I don't like to blame the refs, but
it's easy to blame the refs. Yeah. So this Sunday coming up, you're coming into Minneapolis to play my Vikings, and give me some type of a score prediction. What do you see happening on Sunday? Can you beat us? Let's just start there.
That's a tall task.
That's what we want to hear. Okay.
Going into Minnesota, as a Denver fan, I have hope, but I'm also a realist. I just think you guys are just a little bit too powerful for us. However, I'm going to say the game is close. I'm going to call it 27-24. The Vikings get the win.
Whoa, that's close. It's a field goal difference here.
Yep. Yeah, now that's hard for me to say, buddy. That's so hard for me to say.
Well, I appreciate your toughness, but it's probably right. You know what I mean? I'm finding that most teams that come into US Bank Stadium have a hard time because of the crowd noise, and the players are more pumped, and it's on that special field that we have that, we know it. I think it does make some difference. Like when we play on grass, we don't play as well. So that might have something to do with why we do well at home. But I'm predicting more of like a 30-10 kind of a win for the Vikings. Yeah, I think. Have you seen Dalvin Cook run at all yet? Does that name mean anything to you right now, or?
Oh yeah, he means like he's like the number one rusher in the NFL.
He is right now.
Yes. But I'm telling you, we have a defense that can counter that.
Okay.
We have a linebacker that I think will take care of it. Okay. The linebacker I'm talking about, his name is A.J. Johnson, and he was the October's. I believe he was October Defensive Player
of the month. Oh, he was that good. Oh, okay. Whoa, I didn't.
That good. Yes. Yeah. So.
As you can tell, I only focus on my team. I don't watch the other teams for some reason because that name doesn't ring a bell or anything. But I guess he's a player, huh?
Yeah. No, he's a good one. But now I do keep up with your team. I do keep up with the fact that you guys did get Kirk Cousins for $84 million.
Guaranteed.
I do get the fact that he was called out earlier in the year by Thielen and Diggs,
Yeah.
and ever since then, somebody has lit a fire under him, and he's been playing like a man possessed. You're running the ball. I mean, we got the number one rusher in the game, and he's not just a threat to rushing. Delvin Cook is a threat to catch the ball out of the backfield.
Good point. Good point.
Now, I was hoping that he would be down a wide receiver because I know Thielen had injured his hamstring, but it's looking like he's going to be ready to go. So we got a tall task ahead of us. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, though, is your defense has been stout the past 5+ years. However, I think this year there's been a little tiny chink in that armor.
Whoa.
I don't know. Maybe it's the loss of Sendejo.
Who came back? I don't think that's the problem. The thing I like about our defense is that we're giving up more yardage, 20-20. But when teams get down in the red zone, we're pretty good. And we made a huge stop against the Cowboys, 4th and whatever it was, and then a couple of times they had to settle for a field goal when they were down in the 10 or whatever. So our defense is a little not as good between the 20s, but we're still up there when you get down in the red zone. But our window of opportunity is starting to close because, like you said, we've had the same group for 5 years, or we've been good for 5 years because we've had the same group of guys. So we got to get it done now, or we might have to start looking at rebuilding. And some of our key players, like Rhodes, the cornerback, isn't playing like he used to, and so forth and so on. Have you ever been to U.S. Bank Stadium?
I have not been to U.S. Bank Stadium, no.
Okay. You ever have a chance, you got to go there. It's a great experience. It's enclosed, so it's 70 degrees. I've been to Denver once in my life, but I did not go to watch a game. What is it? What's the atmosphere to watch a Broncos game?
Well, I'm going to give you two different aspects of it. The first aspect is when Denver had old Mile High Stadium.
Okay.
That stadium was probably the loudest in the NFL, and it was. That stadium had some sort of magic about it. After the 2000 season, I think after 2001, they went ahead and demolished it, which that really kind of like devastated me as a fan. Like, that stadium had so much magic, and then they made the new stadium, and honestly, to be honest with you, I'm not a real big fan of the new stadium. It's I don't know. It's like they took away the noise.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But still a decent stadium to go watch a game in terms of the the fan experience and all that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Okay. All I can remember about going to Denver is I stayed in a hotel on Lawrence Street or Lawrence Ave. Does that ring a bell? Is that right downtown?
I believe so. Yeah.
And I went downstairs to do a workout. So I jumped on the bike or whatever it was, I run, whatever. And then I get off and I try to get some air into my lungs, and all of a sudden there was no air. I'm like, what happened to the air? So I guess that is a competitive edge for the Broncos. Teams that come in there are not used to that thin air that you guys are offering.
Yeah. They definitely do advertise that like every single game. But I think players nowadays, I think they go through so hard and rigorous workouts that their body can play at like any elevation,
Okay. Well, I know that I enjoyed when I went to Denver. The mountains in the background was pretty cool. So, and I should tell you, I am not from Minnesota. I was actually I grew up in Massachusetts, but I'm not a Patriots fan. I became a Vikings fan, and lived in Minneapolis last year for football season, and now live in Phoenix because I need the 75-degree weather. You know, that's.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Although tomorrow I am flying out to Minneapolis for the weekend,
Nice.
but already I'm like not looking forward to the cold. You know what I mean? Because it can get cold there pretty quickly.
Denver, brutally cold.
Brutally cold. So, but we'll make it happen. So all right. So your defense is top in the NFL, or tops. You know. Offense
Yes.
is, if you had to rank it, it's what, 19th, 20th, or is it even below that? Or
I haven't looked at the rankings on the offense. I wouldn't surprise if we're hovering around mid-20s.
Oh, okay, all right. So, yeah,
Yeah. However, based off of the Brandon Allen's last performance, you know, if he can continue to perform like what he did, you know, we could get the ball rolling.
okay, all right. Now we know you're 3-6, but you said you're better than that. If you had won the games that you think you easily could have won, are you a 6-3 type team or 5-4
Yes.
type team? 6-3?
Yeah, no, 6-3.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, all right. Because I really believe we're 7-3 right now. Could be 8-3 if we win. You know, hopefully on Sunday. But we could easily be like 8-1 because we played the Packers in Green Bay. They were beating us 21-0. We came back, and in the fourth quarter, with like 2 minutes left or something like that, we drive down the field. We're down by I think 4 or 5. We drive down the field. We're running like crazy with both Cook and Madison. And then on a first and 8, because we're down on the 8-yard line, right? Kirk makes the worst throw of his life. You might have seen it. It was a Hail Mary kind of a throw to the back of the end zone while he was under duress, and the Packers picked it off and they won the game. We score there, we win the game. You know, and we could be 8-1 or 8-2 or whatever, and be tied or be ahead. So I know what you mean. You know, it's like one play here or there just can change the whole season, really. You know, so yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to the game on Sunday. I think I went to a preseason Broncos game a couple of years or so ago. For some reason, I'm thinking I went to a Broncos game, but I could be wrong. Did you guys play us 2 years ago in Minneapolis? Do you remember? Does it ring a bell?
I cannot remember.
Yeah, I can't either. So, but it should be a good. It should be a good game. And you're predicting 27-24. What's Vegas saying? Are we?
You know what's so funny is I live in Nevada, but I haven't even checked. I haven't even checked the odds today, so I'm not even quite for sure.
Okay.
I'm sure the odds are in favor of Minnesota. So
Okay, but not by a lot, right?
Probably not. Maybe 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's where the 27-24 score comes in, right? Right? Is that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dream is Denver's.
Well,
24, but
well, as a Vikings fan, and I hate to admit it, it's like these types of games that I remember us always like losing. Like we should win. Everything points for us to win. If we win, we keep the momentum, the whole 9 yards, and we find a way to lose. It's been like that, too many times as that I can remember as a Vikings fan. So I'm hoping this week we put it together. We kind of do what we are capable of doing. I hope we come out with a 30-10 kind of a win and a statement win, and so I can get ready to go to Miami for the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's finish on a high note with you and your 2 Super Bowl wins, because one thing I've never experienced is that Super Bowl win high. Give me where you were, if you can remember, on your first win. How did it feel? What did you go through? Where were all of that?
Well, actually, Denver has 3 Super Bowls now.
Oh, we do?
So I remember. So the first one will always be like one that always sticks into your mind, and it was 19.
You said 97, right?
Yeah, it was the 97 season. But in the year was actually 1998. Isn't that kind of weird how the season starts in September and it go over, into the next year? It's year. But I was in the Army, and I was stationed in South Korea. And I won't forget, because when the games come on over there, they come on at like 6 in the morning. That's what time games are played usually, 6 in the morning. Sometimes games start at 3 in the morning. So you have to plan your day accordingly. And this was the day that the Denver Broncos were versus the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. And I had actually, believe it or not, I was tasked as being in the United States Army. You tend to get. So I had to actually work that day. And I was a little bit upset because Denver was in the Super Bowl, and I don't get these many chances. So unfortunately, I missed the first quarter, but I was able to get back and finish whatever tasking I had to catch the second and the third and the fourth quarter, and just seeing John Elway do that helicopter dive, like wanting it so bad, and you knew right then and there that the tide was going to go in Denver's favor. I think that was really, 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 really awesome.
Awesome. And then once they finally won the game, it's the game's over. What happens? How do you feel? What do you do?
Well, as a fan, you're elated. You are. You do have that smile and that glow for the whole year. And you're just like, yes, they did it.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. Can't wait for that.
Like I said, I really, really do hope that Minnesota does get one. I would love to see Minnesota get one.
Did you hear that, Vikings Nation? This is from a Broncos fan, so we really appreciate that, and we'll take any help that we can get to help us get our first Super Bowl win, which I keep saying it's going to be this year, because I really think when we're playing like we can play, we're as good as anybody. I'm not really. I think the 49ers aren't really who they are or what their record shows right now. That's just my opinion. I'm more worried about like a Seattle or a Saints more than the 49ers, which you never know. I mean, they are 8-1 or whatever they are, so that says something, right?
Yeah, looking at NFC, I see your competition is definitely the 49ers. You got competition with the Seattle Seahawks. I think you guys gotta watch out, and I hope you guys can knock them off as Green Bay.
Yeah,
division.
Yeah.
They got Aaron Rodgers, and the Green Bay's got a bit of a defense. Denver went into Green Bay in week 3. Now, I really thought Denver had a chance to win that one, but like everybody else does when they go into Green Bay, they shoot themselves in the foot, and then Green Bay comes out with the victory and another storybook ending, you could say, for Lambeau Field in Green Bay for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
But I do hope that hopefully I am hoping that you guys can take that division and force Green Bay. If they are in the playoffs, just keep them far away from you guys.
Yeah. I for some reason I always seem to forget Green Bay, as if they're not even around or something like that. But they're definitely another team that. But we have them at home Monday night, December 23rd or something like that. So hopefully that's going to be for first place or the division or something like that. And that place will be rocking. I've had the opportunity to go to two different Vikings versus Packers game at US Bank Stadium, and the place just goes wild. So it's a good time. Dan, hey, it's at 30 minutes. Like I said, I got to go and pick up my card that's in the shop. Thank you so much. Do you have any last parting words to Vikings Nation or Broncos Nation?
Well, for Broncos country, I just got Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. There you go. I'm going to post this podcast on the board. So if you want to watch a replay of this, you can just click the YouTube link and it'll be right there. Let's hope for a nice fun game on Sunday. No one hits anyone over the head with their helmets, none of that. I'm sure there won't be. And happy holidays. Skull. We say skull. I don't know what you guys say, but we say skull.
You know what? I definitely have heard that chant before, and I'm sure that when I'm watching the game, I'm going to be hearing that chant on my television as well. Hey, happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to you as well. And it's going to be a really, really fun and entertaining game.
That's right. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
Talk later.